Okay, let's do a walkthrough of the whole process from importing right on. So the first thing you do when you get in is you got to make sure you are signed into Adobe Lightroom and Creative Cloud. That's this icon up here. So first you got to tell Safari who you are. I go to Safari, check the settings, make sure Safari is my default. It is. If it's not, it'll say right here, not your default. Do you want to make it your default? If it does, say yes. Now I'm going to go to Google Classroom and make sure that I am signed in here. If that does not show your name, you say sign out of all accounts, then add your account and get signed into your Google Classroom. That is going to tell the computer who you are, so that when you go to Creative Cloud here, we can now minimize this for a little bit. If this is not your face, and let's pretend it's not my face, I'm going to sign it out because likelihood is that whoever used the computer last didn't bother to sign out. So it'll be somebody else. So you sign them out and then you hit continue with Google. If you had not signed in to Google before in Safari, or if Safari is not set to your default browser, when it looks, it'll pull whoever was signed in before. So now I just say, yeah, that's me, and it's my company or school account. And it should say you're all set. And then that brings you into Creative Cloud. Everything you do in Creative Cloud for the most part is using the real apps. Do not, if somehow you're signing into Creative Cloud on the browser and getting to Lightroom on the browser, that's not the real version. That's for if like you're stuck somewhere and you don't have access to your computer and you want to just see what you've got real quick. So now I open Lightroom and I put my card in the SD card reader. If this panel on the left is not showing, if it says allow to connect, you say allow. If that panel on the left is not showing, hit this button here. That brings up all your sorting kind of stuff. We hit add photos. Under connected devices, that's your card. Bring that up and it should show everything that's on the card. If it does not show that, sometimes you go to browse and then on the left, see there's my card. Yours might be unnamed, untitled, EOS, something like that. Mine's Nikon Z8. Click on it, review for import. They both take you to the same place. If it does not show up in the left and it doesn't show up under connected devices, that means that it's not reading the card. So then you take the card out of the slot, put it back in, try taking the reader out of the USB port, putting it in a different USB port until you get a solid connection. And when you get a solid connection, don't touch it. Just let it import because the connections are a little bit wobbly. All right, so we select all, add 18 photos. Then you can see the importing progress going along the top here, 10 of 18. And then the little circles show how it's doing in terms of uploading these to your cloud account. And the overall cloud sync is up here. Once it's completely synced to the cloud, then you're good to like log out of Lightroom. Once it's done with the import over here, you're good to take your SD card out and give the reader to somebody else. I'm just making sure. Now I'm going to eject my card since it's done with that. Just right click on it and hit eject. Once it's ejected from the system, you can take it out of your SD card reader. So I'll give it a little time to do that. Now what I want to do is go in and sort for, I'm going to turn my brightness up a little bit. About 3/4 is perfect. That way the picture actually looks like it's supposed to. 1 star for anything that's not completely out of focus. That one's fine. You can see there's like 4 different versions of this same picture, so maybe I'll only give one of them 1 star. Yeah. That's different, focused in a different place, so I gave 2 1 stars. That's fine. Meh. That one's fine. It's the same thing, but a little bit different perspective. That's fine. Fine, why not? Most of these are getting 1 star because they're all exposed correctly and in focus, and at this point, and they all have a shallow depth of field. So all of those are 1 stars. And go up here, filter for my 1 stars. And now I'm going to, of those, I'm going to put 2 stars on the ones that I actually kind of like. They're not just acceptable, they're kind of cool. These ones are pretty boring. This one's fun, gets 2 stars. That one's got some nice leading lines. I think I like a little bit more of the white there. This one gets 2 stars, this one gets 2 stars. Mouse looks fine. Sure. Then I can filter out for my 2 stars. And I'm looking for 3-star pictures. I need 5 of them for the shallow depth assignment. So let's say this one gets 3 stars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are my 3-star pictures. That helps me just to track down what I need to do. Now I'm going to turn off my filters just by saying greater than or equal to anything. I select the grid view, and I'm going to make the album to make for class. So I select all of them by hitting Command A. I wonder if you can do like... You can also go up to Edit and hit Select All. If you want to deselect them, Command D to deselect. But I'm going to say Select All. Now I'm going to make an album. Create Album. You just got to scroll around until you find the thing with albums there. Make sure you clicked on Albums, then hit plus. Create Album. Shallow Depth. If you want them all organized by number, you can call it 2 shallow depth. And include the 18 selected photos. It's still syncing with the clouds. They're not all online yet, but that's okay. We can just make the album now. So now the album is there. I'm going to share and invite. Go to Settings, turn all of these on, because that's important. Get shareable link. Now I've copied the link, and I go back to Safari. I'm going to go to Google Classroom. Let's open up the Classroom thing. Go to the assignment, shallow depth of field. That's this one. And one of these I made for you. It would be under My Work. And you can see this one actually I've edited a bit. So now it should say paste album link here. So then we can just select that, Command V to paste. Something went wrong. Just tried right-clicking and paste. Yeah, so my thing didn't copy the way I wanted it to. So if that happens, you just go back to shallow depth, go back to share and invite, and then this little button here is to copy it to your clipboard. Let's try that again. This time it worked. Then I hit return, and it makes the link live. Now I can open that link. And I've got all my pictures here. The reason why I starred these is now I can look at these and quickly remember, oh yeah, that one. So that one is, I can see all kinds of information about it. Just looking to see if I remember which one it is. I think it's this one here. So that one goes in. I'm going to right click on it, copy image. If you right click on it and you don't see copy image, that's because in the share settings, share and invite, you didn't turn on allow JPEG downloads. So just make sure you do that. So I right click on it, copy the image, shallow depth, and go to the first open slide. This one's open. And then these settings will be blank, so now we just got to fill in what it actually is. I can go right back to here. Command I, information, ISO 250. 250. Go back. 1.8, 4,000. 1/4000th. 1.8. And blub. Let's capitalize that. We'll do it one more time. I'm going to do another one. If you want to get fancy and you want to speed up things but be a little bit more complicated, I'll show you one thing. This is a bonus. You don't have to do it this way. I have these 4. These are my, these 5. These are my good ones. I'm going to select all 5 of them and make a new album called Good Shallow Depth. Create it. Share and invite, just like I did the previous one, but this one only contains my 3-star pictures. So that way I don't have to actually sort through it. I turn everything back on, I get the shareable link, done. And then I just open a new tab and I paste in the link. Let's see. I did something wrong there. Let's see what I did wrong. Good shallow depth, share and invite. Anyone can view. Should not be a problem. Maybe I just went too fast. Let's paste that in. There we go. Yeah, I just pasted it in before it had a chance to actually get online. So now I only have the 5 that I actually wanted to use. So I copy that. In that case, for that, as a student, that second album is just for your use, just to make it quicker to copy your pictures in. The only one you link is, to me, is the one with all your pictures, so I can check your work. Okay, so now I go to good shallow depth, 85, 1.8, 1/60th of a second. .8, 250. And the reason why this is 1/60th of a second and this one was 1/4000th of a second is because this one I'm shooting right at a light bulb, blasting with light, and this one I'm doing reflected light, so mouse. And then, once I get all 5 of my pictures into the slideshow, I hit turn in and I'm good to go. That's your whole process.